Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Podium check. Audio test on the podium. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. Happy Monday. I do see a number of hands raised. I'm going to go through each hand raised to see if you would like to offer comment on any of our agendized items or public comment. And I'll start with Amy's iPhone. Good morning, Amy.
General public comment.
Thank you. Mona M.
Good morning, TJ. Public comment, please.
Thank you, Mona. Yvonne.
Public comment on items 13, 14, 17.
13, 14, and 17. And public comment.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Morning. Hey, how's it going, Hector? Moving on to Zoom user.
Good morning, TJ. This is Mr. Knight. This is Audit LA. I don't know why I changed my name. I would like to speak on public comment and then all items, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment on all items, Audit LA.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Minion 7514.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Public comment, please.
I have you down for public comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gigi's iPhone, Gigi.
Public comment.
Thank you, Gigi. Hey, Jerry. Good morning once again to our attendees here in the board hearing room. If there's any members of the public who wish to offer commentary, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record. And good morning as well to the attendees who are joining our meeting via the virtual platform this morning. I do have a number of attendees who have already indicated they wish to offer commentary. I have Amy, Mona M, Yvonne, Zoom user, Mini Minion, and Gigi. If there's any additional attendees on the Zoom platform who wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time. I'll record your information for the record. If I could please go back to Yvonne. I think if If I heard you correctly, Yvonne, you indicated you wished to speak on items 13, 14, and 17. I want to make sure you're looking at the correct agenda. Today's Monday, January 13th. Our agenda does not have that. Our agenda only has 5 items, so just want to see if perhaps you want.
I will go back and, check that.
Okay,
All right,
that's fine, that's fine. I will make another call out in about 5 minutes to see if anyone else has joined who wishes to offer commentary. And I'll once again ask you for the items that you wish to speak on, Yvonne. And the time now is 9:53. We should get started in approximately 7 or 8 minutes. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees who are here in the board's hearing room. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer public commentary or comment on any of our agendized items, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. I do see a number of additional hands raised on the Zoom platform. I'm going to go ahead and go through each hand raised to ask which item you'd like to speak on. And I'll start with Zoom user. Oh, I'm sorry. This is
This
Zoom
is audit, yes, I narrowed it down and I want public comment, but,
Yeah. Yep, got it. Sorry about that.
thanks.
I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. Juju. Good morning, Juju.
Good morning. Public comment, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. Phil M.
Yep, just general public comment and all items on the agenda. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Phil. Marianne King. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Item number 1, please.
Thank you, Marianne. Nisa T. Nisa T, good morning. If you are providing audio input, we're not receiving it. It looks like you're unmuted, but you may want to check your device if you have another device that you can use to join the meeting. Nisa T, one more call for Nisa T. All right, and now I'll go back to Yvonne. Good morning again, Yvonne.
Well,
Good
the
morning.
good news is I'm prepared for the next meeting and I can speak on number 5 today and general comment. Thank you for,
Public comment on item 5, very well, no problem.
yeah,
Yvonne.
thank you for catching that.
Yep. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. And I'll run through the list of Zoom attendees who have indicated they wish to offer comment on today's item. I'm going to lower all attendees' hands. If there's anyone who has not, who I do not call, who has not yet indicated that they wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand and I will ask you to unmute and identify yourself for the record and which items you'd like to speak on. I have Amy, I have Mona M, Yvonne, Zoom user, Mini Minion, Gigi, Juju, Phil M, Marianne King, and then I have Nisa T. Let me do one more call out for Nisa T. Nisa T, you should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute, and I don't see you unmuting this time. Okay, thank you. We should get started momentarily. And President Corson, we are now in record mode.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to the Board of Public Works meeting for Monday, January 13th. Mr. Knight, if you'd like to take roll and establish quorum for us, please.
Yes, good morning, President Corson, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Kang, and Commissioner Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. We are also joined by City Attorney Representative Thomas Costello Vega. I'm Acting Executive Officer TJ Knight. President Corson, we have 8 speaker cards under public comment and 2 2 multiple agenda item commenters, and one item comment on item number 1, all on the virtual platform this morning. We have no neighborhood council commentary, and we have no in-person commentary.
Thank you. With that, why don't we open up general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items. And we provided up to 1 minute per person for a cumulative of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment. Testimony shall be limited in content to matters which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. The board may not take any action on matters discussed during public comment period. And we have our city attorney on hand to ensure our commenters remain on topic and within the 1 minute time frame, and he will interrupt you if you do not do that. Mr. Knight, if you'd like to open up public comment, please.
Very well, thank you, President Corson. We'll start with Amy's iPhone, Amy, followed by Mona M. Amy? Go ahead.
Hi. Again, I have to remind you that last summer you allowed a cult that traffics children and is predatory to waste over 100,000 gallons of water, harassing protesters that are trying to make the public aware of the cult of Scientology and its abusive practices. And I would hope that you do an investigation into that, because you've actually caused people's harm and caused their property to be damaged because they hadn't had enough water to use to put out fires as the hydrants were empty. And additionally, you need to really look at what's going on in the public, that the cult is going around stealing supplies from relief areas and using it as their own to give as donations. It's egregious that this has been allowed to go on for as long as it has. You need an investigation, or all of you need to be fired. Goodbye.
Mona M., followed by Yvonne. Go ahead, Mona M.
Thank you, TJ. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, board. It's me again, Mona. Let's talk about the planters on L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain Avenue and the thorny bushes along Catalina. They are in violation of city, state, and federal codes. I remind you again of writ of mandamus. It's a court order that compels a government official or lower court to perform a specific act that they are legally obligated to do, essentially forcing them to fulfill their official duties when they are refusing to do so. Do your job. Thank you. I yield back my time.
Thank you, Mona. We'll move next to Yvonne, followed by Zoom user.
Thank you. I echo every comment that Mona just made, but I'd also like to request this board make public the building permit violations, the building permits, the right-of-way violations, the planters being out of specification violations, and special events policies, and the applications and the actual permits are all public information and should be available to the public view prior to the event. And the police need to be informed so that they do not allow the continued abuse of anyone they selectively choose to abuse. You continue with your poor budget management and practices. Please correct this. It is crucial at this time in particular that you could tighten up your control on management.
Thank you, Yvonne. That's 60 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. We'll move next to Zoom user, followed by Mini Minion. Zoom user, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone fared well during these fires. I want to talk about the water. I have been saying for a couple months now, I've been mentioning it, I'm like, what is going on with the water? Because you guys are in a rush, panic, it seemed to me, that to get everything going through for water. And I asked about it, and you didn't tell us. And the answer is there isn't any, okay? Or it's not enough to be able to fight any fire that we know is coming. They come every year. Now, I'm asking you for updates. And I put in cure and corrects, and I hope you guys take them seriously because I am serious about them. We want updates. We also want everything done by the Brown Act when it comes to meetings. And so President Corson, I have respect for you. I've always been respectful to you. I am asking you to please update us on our planner situation.
Thank
I
you.
get you may not be able to talk about the water right now.
Thank you. That's 60 seconds. We'll move next to Mini Minion, followed by Gigi. Go ahead, Mini Minion.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing? I'm sitting here watching your city burn to the ground, basically. And I mean, I think, to be honest, it's a good idea for you to possibly open your ears and listen to what your public commenters are saying. We warned you about the water months ago as to how much water Scientology wasted for no reason whatsoever. And now you've got no water to put out a fire that is burning your city down. That's sad. Yous are the laughing stock of the entire world. I hope yous realize that. Your city is pathetic. Y'all need to get it together. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.
We'll move next to Gigi, followed by Juju. Go ahead, Gigi.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to watch my language this time, but I'm really aggravated because there's bigger things to talk about. These fires are no joke. And where is the water? What's going on with the water? Like, y'all are dropping the ball with a lot of bigger things. And this is a small thing. Just get a small victory and get these planners out. Like, we have other things to deal with that are much bigger than planners. Y'all have much bigger things to deal with. Why can't we just do this? And if we talk about the water, does that mean that you can't take any action on the water at all because we bring it up in public comment? Like, we said water, so now you can't do nothing about the water. You can't take no actions because you interpret the thing saying you can't take actions as you can't take any actions. Like, nothing makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you. That's 1 minute. And we'll move next to Juju, followed by Phil M. Juju,
Yes, I'm here.
go ahead.
Okay, all these things that have been happening, us coming to you over the last, I know it's been almost a year now, about the water, about the planters, about the bushes. Don't you see, by not enforcing laws, that it enables and emboldens Scientology to now take their vulture ministries and go to donation sites, overtake the sites, steal the supplies that are for the LA fire victims, bring it to their cult, and take credit for all this that's going on. That's all they do. They infiltrate, make their front groups look good, and it's because no one holds them accountable. There's a fire, there's people suffering, and they take advantage of it. They were out there trying to recruit people into their cult at the relief sites. Start doing something.
Thank you.
Get the planners removed.
Thank you. That's 1 minute. And we'll move next to Phil M, followed by Marianne King. Phil M, go ahead.
I have a public records request. My email is filmthepoliceusa@protonmail.com. I require the exact copy, signed and dated, of the order submitted to Scientology to remove the planners. I also require a copy of each exact law, policy, and ordinance, specifically requiring everybody who blocks public easement and the types of permit required, as well as the procedure and process to obtain said permit when they block public easement, as well as a breakdown on who the prosecuting enforcement agency is responsible for holding the wrongdoer accountable vis-a-vis fines, jail, etc. And I just want the new board to know, I'm the guy that actually has a case right now on this. You have two options. Either submit to the CPRA or submit to a court order on my motion for discovery. It's your
That's 1
choice,
minute.
but
Thank you.
film the police.
We'll move next to Marianne King. Marianne King, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm concerned with the tree removal request for 1201 South Figueroa Street, the convention center expansion. The determination that there's absolutely no room on site to plant these replacement trees. The site's almost 100 acres or more. There's no landscape plan. So how can this determination be made? There's nothing in the attachment that really clearly shows that these trees cannot be planted. So I'm really concerned with that. And also the fact that it was not on the original EIR or addendum, that we have 8 other trees on Bond Avenue, apparently that's to be removed as well. So we have a lot of street trees that are going to get wiped out. And I think we should be sure that we're going to have a nice landscape plan with lots of trees before you approve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. And we do have Nisa T. Nisa T. I'm going to send you a pop-up asking you to unmute. I see your hand is raised. And once again, we're not receiving any audio input from you, Nisa. I'm not sure if you can double check your device, make sure you're not on mute.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Me.
Would you like to offer?
Yes. Now, I'm sitting here in Cleveland, and I'm seeing everything that goes on there. Now, first of all, in the relief sites, Scientology is just taking credit for everything, taking all their sites and claiming it as their own. I mean, it doesn't look appealing to anyone in the world, especially me sitting here in Cleveland watching everything. Now, what does that tell you? For once, don't let Scientology run your business. You're supposed to run it, not Scientology. Now, this doesn't look good in the world. Please start doing your jobs. I yield back the rest of my time.
Thank you, Nisa. I'm going to go ahead and ask if there are any additional members of the public, either in the room or on the Zoom platform, who wish to offer commentary or public comment on any of our agenda items. I do see a couple of new attendees. If there are any members of the public who wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time. And seeing no additional hands raised, that concludes public commentary this morning, President Courcette.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knight. With that, we'll close general public comment for today's meeting and proceed to multiple agenda items public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item. Mr. Knight, let's open up.
Very well. First, we will go to Zoom user. Zoom user, go ahead. You have 60 seconds per item for up to 3 items.
Yes, hi. For a point of order and clarity, the final speaker who gave public comment was speaking on agenda item 1, which is her absolute right. But I don't understand why the city attorney or anyone didn't, you always interrupt us, but you didn't say, hey, that's agenda item number 1. And so now she lost her ability to talk on the agenda item that she actually wanted to talk on, and now it's going in as public comment. I want to speak to on number 2 and 3, primarily. Okay, here we are dealing with our permits, encroachments of the public right-of-way. Why are these 2 agencies having to do it by the book? What would happen if they didn't do it this way? Whatever it is they want, if they had just taken upon themselves to do it without proper permission, what would happen? Because I see Scientology doing the same thing, and it's comparing and contrasting, and do not interrupt me because this is a valid point. Why are they allowed to have 251 planters? They're not even planters, they're shipping containers and like baby coffins. And they're allowed to just put them everywhere. They're allowed to be against federal laws because they're not ADA compliant. They are not made with the proper wood. I mean, they're made with wood, which is not allowable for per engineering. They're allowed to do that. There is absolutely no consequences whatsoever. They got a little citation. I've seen the citations, no money attached to it, just in order to make it right. They haven't made it right. They are snubbing the city. And yet, here we are, it's okay. But these two, 2 and 3, how much money are they paying to actually do things by the book? And I mean, I know they're going to get it because, you guys say yes to everything. But they deserve it because I guess they're doing the right way. But why are you not? And I want answers. Like, I want updates on these planters. And I'm going to keep saying that. Mr. President, you have the right per the Brown Act to answer to the public. And Gigi made the perfect point of because we bring something up means you can't do anything about it. So now that, people, like the lady was saying, well, you can't, we don't want you doing the trees. Now you can't take up the tree. I mean, come on. Things can be done. It's just blowing us off. But, and I think it's disgusting that you're not making Scientology. If they want these planters, have them put in for a permit. And then they will have to, replace those with things made of proper material, and they will have to be ADA compliant. If they want planters, that's fine. But why are you not making them go by the law?
Thank you.
Why does everyone
Thank
else
you.
have to?
That's 3 minutes. And for the next multiple item agenda comment is from Phil M. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so a couple of things, right? To follow up on agenda item 1, which the previous speaker mentioned. So I actually have an ongoing case right now, and like I stated, I require the exact law, policy, and ordinance that states the enforcement as well as the punishment for those who fail to abide by your procedures, the municipal city procedures, when it comes to blockading easement and the removal of items on easement, as well as the process for escalating and punitive damages for entities that continue to violate. And I want to explain to you why I'm harping on agenda item 1 as well as the rest, is because I'm going to sue the shit out of you guys. Not just the city of LA, but you guys personally. You've done me wrong. You realize I have a financial claim. I've been wronged for a case that's about to be dropped, and I'm going to sue the ever-loving shit out of you guys. Okay? I really am. And that's the difference between myself and a lot of the other folks that you might see on this call that might not follow forward with lawsuits. And it's not going to just be a claim, right? It's not going to just be one claim under common law. It's going to be all sorts of claims. We're going to sue the shit out of you guys. So I require that you give me what I stated in my public comment, first of all. And then second of all, expect at some point, as you're sitting on that bench, to be served for Title 42, for common law claims, and a shitload of other mass litigation because your city attorney and this department is continuing to allow a known bad actor to behave in a criminal, contemptuous manner. And also give my best regards to City Attorney Deputy Virginia Choi. You are under investigation. I do not fuck around. You are fucking with my freedom, and this criminal enterprise known as Scientology is swatting my fucking family. They're threatening to kill my fucking family and my dog, and I have other litigation against this place right now. You fucked up. You guys really fucked up, and I'm not playing any games. So I require that you fulfill that CPRA or submit to a court order. I hope you at least submit to the CPRA so it doesn't have to get to the point of a court order. But the ball's in your court. You have my email, filmthepoliceusa@protonmail.com. Get it to me.
And that concludes multiple item agenda commentary this morning, President Corson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knight. With that, we'll close multiple item agenda public comment for today's meeting, and we'll proceed to the approval of the minutes from Wednesday, December 20th. If there is a second to my motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There's a first from myself and a second from Commissioner King.
Very well. We'll take roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
No.
So we have 4 ayes and 1 no, and the disposition is approved.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 1 in Council District 9 from the Bureau of Street Services. Tree removal at 1201 South Figueroa Street on West Pico Boulevard and on the South LA Live Way. And we have Hector Banuelos to provide the presentation.
President Corson, quickly, we do have 1 commenter who wishes to offer a public comment, if you'd like to hear that after the staff presentation.
Yes, we'll take that after the presentation.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners, Board President Corson. My name is Hector Banuelos. I'm with the Streets LA Urban Forestry Division. What we have before us is a request for a permit to remove 15 street trees for the Los Angeles Convention Center Modernization and Expansion Project in Council District 9. The project is located at 1201 South Figueroa Street, and the trees are located on Pico Boulevard and LA Live Way of this address. On this project here, they're proposing to, according to the project plans, they're going to expand and connect the south and west halls and connect them all to one. There's approximately 500,000 square feet of total exhibits floor area, and they're going to expand it to make it to 700,000 square feet of continuous floor area for exhibits. And the project is going to be constructed, a majority of it's going to be constructed over Pico Boulevard and parts of LA Live Way, where we have these 15 trees. 11 Indian laurel fig trees are located on or growing on Pico Boulevard, where we have also 4 carrotwood trees growing on the LA Live Way side of this location. According to the project plans, the building footprint is going to be over these trees here, existing trees, so they have to be removed. They're going to be severely impacted also by construction activities that is needed to construct this project as planned. The Urban Forest Division sent out notifications to the council office and to the public via our tree removal notification system. And we did receive 1 comment, as you heard today. The council office did not, we have received no response from the council office, so we're assuming that the council office is neutral on this, on the request and on the project. If approved, there is no room to plant on this site here. There's, as I mentioned, the structure is going to be over the entire section of Pico Boulevard where these trees are growing. So there's no way to plant trees there. So there'll be 100% shade. In addition to the section of LA Live Way, there's also this proposed cantilevered building is going to be over where these trees are located. So there's no room to plant there. Around the facility itself, there's a lot of existing street trees and other infrastructure that doesn't allow us to plant replacement trees there as well. So the applicant would be required to pay the tree planting guarantee fee for the 30 trees to meet the board's 2-to-1 tree replacement requirement. So we asked, the city planning department also approved this project here, as well as our city council. They approved it earlier or in June of last year. And we asked that the board approve the request for a tree removal permit for this project. That concludes my presentation. I'm here to address any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Mr. Banuelos. We'll take the public comment that's on the Zoom platform.
Very well, President Corson. Marianne King.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. I thought I left a comment. I'll do it again. Yeah, I have a concern with the determination that the replacements cannot feasibly be placed on site. And there's, you know, the convention center site is over 100 acres. We're not talking about just that spot on Pico. There's a lot of, we need a comprehensive landscape plan for this project, which has not been submitted yet. And I think it's premature to say hey, let's just do cash in lieu. I think we need to know that we're gonna have robust landscaping and replacement trees on that site, the entire site, through the medians, everywhere. If we don't do that, then we are just losing a lot of trees and not getting any landscaping. So I think we need to see the landscape plans, which are required as part of this project. Thanks.
Thank you. And that concludes public comment on agenda item 1 this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. We'll close public comment on this item for today's meeting. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments for, yes, President Pro Tem Grant?
Thank you. Did I understand you to say that if an entity does not plant replacement trees, that there's a fine to be levied against, that they have to pay?
It's not a fine, it's a,
Penalty, whatever.
it's a fee that we charge to replace the trees. The trees will be planted later as part of the tree planting guarantee fee program. They'll be planted later and within the Council District 9 in areas where there's low canopy and disadvantaged communities.
So they can either plant in other areas within 9 or pay the fee? I'm not understanding.
Well, they'll, for this particular location, there's no room to plant within the public right of way. On site, I'm unaware of what can be planted on site, but the city of LA or our Department of Public Works wants trees to be replaced on the public right of way. So at this site, there's no room to plant the trees on the public right of way. Therefore, the applicants to pay the tree planting guarantee fee. The trees can be planted in the right of way in areas that are nearby and or consistent with the criteria that we use to plant replacement trees as part of the tree planting guarantee fee.
And what would the suggested fee be if they can't find a place?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
What would the suggested fee be if they cannot find places?
It is just a little bit over $58,000.
How much?
$58,350 they'll be required to pay. That's equivalent to what it would cost to plant 30 street trees to plant and maintain.
Thank you.
All right, commissioners, any other questions or comments on this item? Yes, Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you. I know that there's a variety of different elements to this project, which overall is, an important economic generator for the city in investing in a city-owned facility that creates jobs, generates tourism occupancy taxes, generates other types of taxes and economic benefits, not just to downtown, but to the region. I know specifically this is about the tree removals. Maybe it would be great to get a presentation, an overall presentation from BOE, just what the latest is on the project. I know it went to council and we got a limited presentation before, but I know that there's also an open air part of this project that's going to be an outdoor area for events. That's also going to be, an area that will be providing outdoor locations that can be, when they're not being used for events, can be open to the public. And the necessity of having to connect both the West Hall and the South Hall of the Convention Center over Pico Boulevard does require the elimination of trees. And I think, as staff pointed out, there will be a building now over Pico, which I know that the concern of removing trees removes shade from Pico, but now you're going to have an entire building that provides shade cover. Obviously, other benefits from trees will happen. Our predecessors on this board approved a cash in lieu policy that provides an alternative when trees are not feasible to be replanted on site to cover the costs of procuring and maintaining new trees and new tree plantings in the immediate area, which is a policy that this board has approved, our predecessors on this board approved, and it is, in my mind, a good alternative to continue to at least maintain or grow our tree canopy in the city, and maybe look at opportunities where there are underserved areas for tree canopy, as we know there are. And in this case, in CD9, there are vast locations of underserving. So it would be great to, work with the council office and work with urban forestry and the forestry officer to find those appropriate locations. And I know when we met that is something that will be, in process in the future to find appropriate locations for that. So, so obviously we don't like removing trees, but sometimes we have to do that, and we have mitigations in place that will address that shortfall and hopefully create something that is, better for the future of not just visitors, but also residents alike. So with that, I, offer my support on this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. So the previous board did not take any action on the convention center, and I don't think we've received a presentation on it. I think you're asking for a presentation, so I'm going to ask Mr. Knight if our BOE liaison is on, if we can just... Mr. Banuelos, you're looking at me and like you want to say something, so go ahead.
Well, we have one of the applicant's representatives here, if they can perhaps maybe address some of the concerns that Vice President Chavez had.
I don't have a concern. I just think it would be great to have just a larger presentation, probably from Bureau of Engineering, on the Convention Center project, just so that this board has that information in a public setting. So it wouldn't be from Streets LA. It would be, this is for a future meeting that would get agendized. So.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think what she's asking for is if we can see if our POE rep is on and can confirm that she can or he can look into providing us a presentation on the Convention Center project at some point in the next month.
That'd be great.
Very well. Thank you, President Chavez, Vice President Chavez and President Corsand. I'm attempting to get Sunny Patel on video. Give me one moment.
Yes. Good morning. This is Sunny Patel.
Hi, Sunny.
Yes, we would like to provide you more update in the following week.
I'm sorry, so our audio has just been established. Can you please repeat that, Sunny, and speak loudly and clearly into your device?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I would like to provide an update in the following weeks to come. I'll definitely get back to the Bureau executives.
Thank you, Sunny. And so for the scheduling of the report and the update of the Convention Center, if you'd please work with me. I'm TJ Knight, Acting Executive Officer, and we can figure out a date for that report offline.
Sure, of course. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Thank you for that great suggestion. Vice President Chavez, Commissioners, any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, I too agree. This is anytime we remove trees, it's unfortunate, but it's also fortunate that we have a mechanism that allows us to plant more trees for projects of a growing city and of economic drivers like the Convention Center. And we'll entertain a motion on this item.
So move.
Thank you. Is
I'll
there a
second?
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from President Pro Tem Grant and a second from Vice President Chavez.
Very well. We'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang. And Commissioner Mitchell. Item 1 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Banuelos. Moving on to item number 2 on today's agenda from Office of Community Beautification, Council District 3, revocable permit, encroachment in the public right-of-way at 5819 Carlton Way for Farm LA. Welcome.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, members of the board. Belated Happy New Year to you. I haven't seen you since last year. My name is Jerry Valido. I'm the Assistant Director with the Office of Community Beautification. This presentation is another recipient of our Keep LA Beautiful grant program. The nonprofit organization Farm LA applied for the Keep LA Beautiful grant in 2021 during its first cycle. The original grant proposal has gone through several evolutions, culminating in the current scope of work, which is being presented today for the board's adoption. One World, One Nation Community Garden, a project of Farm LA, was started in June 2020 when its founder, Siraj Fortuna, saw a small patch of unpaved city property as an opportunity to provide food and beauty to the surrounding neighborhood. The ensuing community garden became a hub for the neighborhood residents to promote a healthier lifestyle that's eco-friendly, sustainable, and regenerative. In addition to plants, there's composting and vermiculture. The food and plants from the garden are free for the community. The proposal submitted to the grant program was to construct a garden shed to store tools, provide greenhouse capabilities for seedlings, store rainwater, and provide shelter for the 2 working feral cats whose presence assists with rodent control. This project has undergone extensive review and revisions by the Bureau of Engineering, who finally gave their approval for the project in 2024. Upon adoption by the Board of Public Works and permit issuance by the Bureau of Engineering, the Keep LA Beautiful grant award of $2,500 will be funded to the constituent group for use towards this project. At this time, I would like to ask the board to adopt this project in order that it may progress to the permitting phase.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there's a first from Commissioner Kang and a second from Vice President Chavez.
Very well. We will take a roll call vote for item number 2, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes. Item 2 is adopted, subject to conditions forthwith.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item number 3, also from the Office of Community Beautification in Council District 1, revocable permit encroachment in the public right-of-way in Glassell Park. Alex Walton.
Thank you, President Corazon. Again, for the record, Jerry Valido, Assistant Director of the Office of Community Beautification. This is the first Adopt-A-Median project that I'm bringing before this new board. So for the benefit of our new commissioners, I'd just like to very briefly touch on what this program entails. The Adopt-A-Median program began over 35 years ago when our office was still known as Operation Clean Sweep. This program facilitates the installation of community-driven beautification projects in the city's public right-of-way. The adopting constituent group will agree to maintain the project and the project site in perpetuity, relieving the city of the responsibility. And in turn, the board adoption of the project allows for fee waivers to be applied towards their A permit and revocable permit. The Adopt-A-Median project proposal before you today is located in Glassell Park. It has been fervently spearheaded by Mr. Alex Walton, a longtime Glassell Park resident, who, with the support of his neighbors, as well as the Glassell Park Improvement Association, are proposing the creation of a California native plant garden along the Crestmore Steps located at the end of Crestmore Place in Glassell Park. This project will provide enormous benefits to the entire community while requiring very little resources or effort. The Crestmore Steps are a thoroughfare that caters to the bustling activity of commuters, students, joggers, dog walkers, and others that traverse the area towards the Glassell Park Rec Center, as well as the businesses on Verdugo Avenue and Eagle Rock Boulevard, and the homes up on the hill. Currently, the only life growing in the hard sun-baked dirt along the steps are weeds and a few large trees. During the rainy season, this area suffers from erosion. The space is frequently tagged with graffiti and littered with trash. The vision is to have the Crestmore Steps be transformed into a garden that everyone can enjoy. The bare dirt will be filled with brightly colored, sweet-smelling California native sages, buckwheats, mallow, ceanothus, and more. Along with a top layer of mulch, these plants will improve the quality of the soil and mitigate erosion. Weeds will disappear, and the vigilant maintenance and upkeep of the area should help deter graffiti and littering. Mr. Alex Walton, who is with us today in partnership with local neighbors as well as the Glassell Park Improvement Association, who is also with us today, will continue to maintain the improvement and provide hand watering for all the newly planted vegetation. The adopted medium project plan has been reviewed and approved by Streets LA, and Mr. Walton has agreed to adhere to the conditions as provided in the approval. At this time, I would like to request that the board adopt this project so that we may proceed to the permitting phase of the process. And should you have any questions, my constituents are ready to come up and speak on the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Do we have any hands raised on this item?
For item 3, we do not.
All right. Mr. Valido, would you like to have the applicant speak? If they want.
Only if it pleases the board, if you have any questions. Alice, why don't you come up and just talk a little bit about the project really quickly?
Thanks for having us. I know everybody's really busy. This has been such a crazy week. I also want to thank Mr. Knight is amazing at running meetings. I run meetings often, but nobody could touch this guy. Anyway, this is a great project. It's a win-win for our community. We have a lot of young families that are interested in gardening, like my family, and for basically no money, we can improve a really gross area that will bring wildlife and make everybody's commute or fitness or dog walking a little bit more enjoyable. So thank you, guys. Do you have any questions?
We'll see. Well, thank you for taking on this project. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a second to my motion to approve this item?
I'll second.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there's a first from myself and a second from Commissioner King.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote for on approval of item number 3, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner King.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes, and item number 3 is adopted subject to conditions forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, moving on to item number 4 from the Bureau of Street Services, Bureau Contract Administration in all council districts, request for authority to release request for proposal and negotiate contracts. And we have with us Stephanie Clements. Please proceed when you're ready.
And Sherrod Nichols. Good morning, commissioners. Stephanie Clements, Department of Public Works, Bureau of Street Services. I here have Sherrod Nichols today. He's the division manager over the Street Renewal Division that does the pavement preservation activities for the city. The Bureau is requesting that the board approve the issuance of a request for proposals, or RFP, for the production of asphalt for street maintenance and preservation activities to help assist the Bureau to resurface our streets with asphalt and fix potholes with asphalt. More specifically, the Bureau is requesting proposals for 50% recycled concrete in addition to other line items for asphalt mixes and trucking services associated with the transport of the produced asphalt. The Bureau takes pride in the fact that we recycle asphalt to minimize waste and costs. While the city owns 2 asphalt plants to produce the asphalt that helps us preserve city streets, those plants are not sufficient to meet all the demands citywide placed upon the Bureau to maintain 23,000 lane miles of streets and 800 lane miles of alleys. To supplement asphalt production from those plants, the Bureau needs to establish contracts with outside entities to provide asphalt when the city cannot do so or it is infeasible to do so. Also, because one of our 2 asphalt plants is currently non-operational, the need for being able to procure asphalt is even more critical. Having contracts for asphalt production is nothing new. The Bureau has maintained contractual relationships to procure asphalt from outside vendors. However, the current contracts are authorized on a month-to-month basis as authorized by City Council, and we need to correct that and execute new contracts. There are not a lot of asphalt plants in this region, and therefore the Bureau is open to establish contracts with multiple companies in order to provide us with multiple vendors so we can have the greatest flexibility and competition. Our goal is to issue the RFP and evaluate proposals as quickly as possible and return to the board to request approval to execute a contract or multiple contracts. And we are here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you.
13.
Mr. Nichols, did you want to?
There's no public commenters on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from Commissioner King.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item number 4, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes. Item number 4 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5, our last item of the day, AFE from Bureau of Sanitation in all council districts for the LA County tax collector, because on our last item is when we wait to pay our tax bills.
Hold off as long as possible. Yeah. So good morning. My name is Christine Hanning-Jostes. I'm here to present on agenda item 5 on behalf of the Bureau of Sanitation. The Bureau of Sanitation and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $65,000 for encumbrance of funds to cover annual secured property taxes for the first and second installments for fiscal year 24 and 25. This covers a total of 10 Bureau of Sanitation properties. The funds for the authority for expenditure will come from the Sewer Operation Maintenance Fund, and there is no impact to the general fund. I'll take any questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on why we have to pay our tax bill? Mr. Knight.
President Corson, sorry to interrupt you. There is a request for a public comment on this item, if you'd like to hear that at this time.
Yes, please.
Yvonne? Yvonne, go ahead.
Thank you. By all means, pay your tax bill. I have to pay my tax bill. You have to pay your tax bill. The city sewer and streets and everybody else has to pay their tax bill. The one entity in this city that doesn't pay their tax bill is Scientology. They run hotels, and their visitors must stay in their hotels.
If the speaker could please
They don't
stick
pay
to the topic of
taxes.
agenda item 5, which is this particular tax bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Collect all your tax bills.
Thank you. President Corson, that concludes public comment on item 5.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Is there a motion on the table?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There's a motion from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll take a roll call vote for approval of item number 5, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. Item number 5 is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Knight, have we cleared the desk for today?
Yes, we have.
Fantastic. It is 10:52 and our meeting for today is adjourned, and there will be a management meeting at 12 o'clock today.